What's poppin', y'all? It looks like Megan Thee Stallion, who has been having a successful tour in America, was initially set out to continue her arena tour in none other than Europe, and everything's getting canceled now, which has led to detractors, haters of Megan Thee Stallion to come at her. There are a lot of separate reasons that people have for hating Megan Thee Stallion. A lot of them are just focused on hating on her due to the fact that Tory Lanez is locked up, which is a musical crime. Yes, musically, Tory Lanez blows her out of the water, and most other rappers. However, there are also Nicki Minaj fans that don't mess with her because Nicki has issues with Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion has taken shots at Nicki, etc. And Megan Thee Stallion has even come at Drake a little bit by playing Not Like Us at, I think it was her Madison Square Garden, New York City show. So she cancels these arena dates in Europe, and I don't even want to knock on her because who thought that this was going to succeed? Like an arena tour in Europe. This is funny because Nicki Minaj just got off of one of the best-selling, I think, like female rap tours ever. I think this may have been her most successful tour. Maybe she's still on it. I don't know. But she was selling out dates. We saw her get arrested because I think she brought weed or something into Amsterdam. She had a show in the UK after. I don't know if it was Manchester Arena or not. But she was just doing arena shows in Europe and the UK. EU and the UK. Depends how. These Euros, they'll always be like, nah, bro, like, UK is, like, yo, we don't care about Brexit. Like, that's also why I made the distinction. Because people do look at it differently over there. And I'm not just an ignorant American. So you can't throw that label on me. With that being said, I never even thought that this was an option for Megan Thee Stallion. I think Megan Thee Stallion could do a tour in Europe, but it would have to be smaller venues. An arena? Listen, for an artist to have an American rap artist, to have a successful arena tour overseas, you need hits. I'm talking hits. That, not hits as in, oh, you charted on the Hot 100, which is the American charts, and then your song didn't even really last on the American charts and fell off, like Hiss. Granted, keep in mind that I gave credit to Megan Thee Stallion for these songs, and I do think that they did their job, but they didn't have staying power, and that's okay. But you need staying power, and if you don't even have staying power on the American charts, it's not going to go overseas. Like, they're really not paying attention to what we've got going on here unless it's so loud that it's going to spread naturally. And keep in mind, some people say, oh no, but some people pay attention to that. We're talking about an arena. To fill an arena, you need people that aren't just plugged into music deeply. Even in America, you need just casual fans that are like, yo, I've listened to this person's songs a bunch of times. For example, like Roddy Ricch, that's the guy with the box song. Yeah, I'll go to his show. Megan Thee Stallion, when was the last time she had a hit? I need you to sit down and think for me. And also, we have to give credit to Nicki Minaj, but we also have to make a distinction that you can't compare Nicki Minaj to Megan Thee Stallion when Nicki Minaj has had, 15 years of this? Or 14 years to build up a catalog of hits and having done a bunch of tours in the past. Meanwhile, Megan Thee Stallion, she's been in the game 5 years? 6 years? We'll say 6 years, right? So we won't say getting her feet wet. I'm not going to give her that much credit, right? But Nicki Minaj, credit to her, she's had hits, smash hits that they're listening to across the world. She's a recognized name and her music is recognized. You will play certain Nicki Minaj hits and people will know the songs and they may not even know who made it. Sure, if you tell them, oh, this is Nicki Minaj, they'll be like, oh, okay, I know who that is. But they may not know that she's the one that sang that song. So when was the last time that Megan Thee Stallion had a genuine hit that crossed over outside of America and was really big elsewhere? I'm going to give you guys 2 seconds to think about that. What was the last song that you can think of? And for me to think, the last song that she even had in America/Canada, or it's kind of similar market, was Body? The Body Yaddy Yaddy song. That was the last catchy thing you remember from Megan Thee Stallion, that I remember from Megan Thee Stallion. Someone will say Thought-ish, which is 2 times platinum, but really, I don't know. Body did better than that. And Body was 4 years ago. 2020. Sure, she's had songs that have charted. Like, we can say the Glorilla song, right, with Cardi B, but that's 3 huge names on a song together, and that song definitely hasn't crossed over to other markets. And in 2020, the other song, of course, probably her biggest song ever, is Savage with Beyonce. Oh, I'm a savage, sassy, moody ratchet, that song. Catchy song, very catchy. I think that one went like cross market, and she could have done a bunch of shows. I don't know if she did in Europe and the UK during that time, and it probably would have succeeded. Would it have been arenas? No. It's difficult enough and impressive enough that Megan Thee Stallion was able to sell arenas in the US. For her to do it in Europe and the UK as a rapper without a bunch of crossover pop hits? Like, dog, what? Hell no. And I posted this on my IG, which you should follow me at helloyassine too. The original IG, 12 years. 12 years, they just clapped my page. 12 years. So I'm asking you for 12 seconds to follow this page. Working on getting the first one back. It's not looking too hot, I'm not going to lie to you. But, hey, we move forward. We don't focus on the setbacks. Focus on what we can control. And they could have controlled not scheduling these dates for Megan Thee Stallion. But, hey, you live and you learn, right? I don't think it's that much of a failure. People will clown her for it. What would be worse? For her to show up and then nobody's there? That would be way worse. So, it seems to me that Megan Thee Stallion fans were very happy with her performances. You never really saw shows or clips of, oh, Megan Thee Stallion's got an empty show. Megan Thee Stallion's fans are bored. Her performance sucks. And I take that as the fact that her shows were performing well. Because some people say, oh, well, we didn't see the positive press of her being a great performer. Yeah, you're really not going to see that. The absence of negative press for an individual like Megan Thee Stallion on tour is the presence of good press. Which is so funny when you think about it, because just think about it for 2 seconds. There are a lot of Megan Thee Stallion haters and Megan Thee Stallion content that, any rapper, if a rapper's show is empty or they're giving a terrible performance in the show, you would hear about it. It would do crazy numbers. We've seen it even with Trippie Redd and his, I wouldn't say his ilk, but rappers that you would say are less mainstream than Megan Thee Stallion and have less haters than Megan Thee Stallion. So Megan Thee Stallion seems to have had a successful tour. Her fans were happy. Her shows were packed out. It sold well. Why not cut your losses instead of going to Europe, and then now all the press is going to be about how your Europe tour failed. And they're not going to give you credit for what you did in America. They're just looking at your failure. Well, can I really give credit for them preparing poorly? No, I will not do that, actually. That's foolish. I think Megan Thee Stallion needs some hits. I think she needs some crossover hits. They tried to do that with Dua Lipa. I don't know how well that song is performing, but Megan Thee Stallion is a rapper's rapper. Nicki Minaj, she was able to get smash hits. Can Megan Thee Stallion continue that? Well, continue. That's like saying she consistently has hits. I don't know. It's really difficult. If you think about it, do you think Lil Baby could do an arena tour in Europe? I don't know. And Lil Baby has way more hits than Megan Thee Stallion, especially hits that crossed over into Europe. And he's more well-known there. He's known as one of the biggest rappers in America over there. And there still isn't that stigma on him of, oh, he's been dropping mid like there is here. Because people just focus on your hits overseas because they're also focused on their own rap scene. Like, Germans have a bunch of German rappers that they like. And then it's American rappers. It's pretty normal, right? Like, you're going to like the rappers from your country that rap in your language. And, of course, there will be a subsection of fans that prefer American rap, but that's, I wouldn't say a minority. But you guys get where I'm going with this, right? Lil Baby's huge, and we haven't even seen him go on an arena tour. Lil Durk, that's someone that I will say would struggle. Like, Lil Durk is huge in America. Him and Lil Baby went on a tour, but Lil Durk hasn't had hits other than the song with maybe Drake that would cross over into Europe. Like, when have we seen Durk even do shows in Europe? Maybe the furthest he went was London, and I don't know if he even went out there. I can't recall. So I don't think this is something that we should hate on Megan Thee Stallion for. I think it's very contextual. It's easy to just look at the headline and try to knock her, but they tried to do something which was overly ambitious, and they realized, like, hey, the numbers aren't shaking out. We got to cut our losses while we can. And I don't blame Megan Thee Stallion for doing this, although it's probably her team. I do blame her team for booking her arenas in Europe, though. I just wish I could see the back end of why they thought that would work out. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Am I cutting her too much bail? Or am I being unreasonable? You let me know. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for watching. Peace.